gosh, such an enthusiastic welcome. It's Monday, and I am going to make this weird pigtail that I bought from the farmer's market, and I did not intend on buying pigtail. Well, I did intend on buying pigtail, what am I saying? But I went to the farmer's market this Sunday, and they happened to have pig offal, OFFAL, on the menu. And I was like, oh, what do they have? They have like feet and trotter. They have tail. I've never had tail. So then I was like, let's buy some tail. And I bought a whole pigtail for $2 because it was like $5 a pound and it was a third of a pound. And then he was like, I'm not even going to put this into the calculator. Just give me $2. So I paid him $2 for a pigtail. And Trinidad, oh my gosh, how do you cook your pigtail? So I'm going to do some sacrilege since I don't know how to cook a pigtail. And I think I'm just gonna cook it whole. And I think I'm actually gonna pull up my ramen recipe that I developed for Delish. And I'm just going to like braise it in that like shoyu broth. So it's gonna end up tasting like the pork belly that I served as a topping on that ramen. And I'm also going to be making some brown rice with frozen carrots, frozen peas, and defrosting onion that we cooked on the last live. And I'm also thinking maybe I'll put some carrots in there too. And just so I can have a little bit of, you know, grains for myself. This pot is looking really gross. That's where my head is sitting. I'm going to pull up chat so I can see you and maybe talk to you. I'm a little bit hyper. I think I drank too much matcha this morning, and I also left my kitchen window open the whole day, so there's a lot of laundromat fumes from the basement washing machines floating up through that window, and I think they're making me kind of lightheaded. As if you need an explanation for why I'm whack sometimes, you don't. But yeah, it's not going to be like a very exciting pigtail cooking because I'm literally just going to be throwing it into a pot and letting it boil. But I guess that's most cooking, huh? Alright, shoyu, ramen, delish, June. That's what I'm Googling. And lo and behold, there it is. Oh, and it looks like they updated it recently. That's cute. Oh, and it has a little checkbox that says approved by the Delish Test Kitchen. Okay. So that's my recipe in case you're interested in revisiting the past. It has 4.9 stars off of 47 reviews. Wow. I feel proud of that recipe for sure. The amount of time I agonized over that recipe, guys. Woo! Oh my gosh. From June 6th, can we just relive the glory when I still had a job? Well, I have a job, but when I still had a food media job and a mom, but also the police were shooting people all over the place, so not a great time actually. But this review says, this recipe is a masterpiece. It's extremely easy in the sense that no part of it requires any special skill. It takes some time to make and compile the various components, sure, but I did it all while doing other things around the house today. I highly recommend making this. Wow, how cute. Wow. Well, I feel proud. So let's see if I have everything that I need. I'm not gonna make so much broth because I only have one pigtail and not a whole pound of pork belly. So I'm gonna cut everything by a lot. I also don't have low sodium soy sauce. I have this like really cheap soy sauce that's probably not that good. But in any case, we're gonna scrub our little pot first with a little baking soda, just to shine it up a little bit. I've been making a lot of pear and apple juice in this pot, so I think the acidity kind of tarnishes it. Not sure what exactly goes on into the chemistry of pot stains and rusting and water stains and all of that, but it's just something I'm noticing. I'm sure it's just aesthetics for the most part. Let's see, we need soy sauce, mirin. I definitely don't have that, but I have some wine. Cute. And I have these plums. This white wine is brought to you by my last relationship. We went out and got this bottle to make bolognese one night, and I don't remember what month that happened in, but it's been a while. And I don't know how good this wine is, but it's okay. We don't need that much. We need some granulated sugar, which we have. Perfect. Let me see if I can minimize the window so I can both see the recipe and see you, because you're so important. I don't have green onions, and I don't have fresh garlic, but guess what? I have some dried garlic. So we'll have to sub it in. Green onions would have been nice, huh? Is there anything we can use in place of green onions? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. I think I used all of my dried alliums that are green in nature with grandma. So that's gone. 2-day ramen recipe? Yeah, this is one of the first at-home videos that I shot on my cell phone when the pandemic went into quarantine mode. So it's a real throwback. Alright, so I think what we do is just bring all the ingredients to a simmer and let it boil. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut everything down by like 75%, so we're only going to go with a quarter of the recipe. So everybody keep reminding me that we're quartering the whole recipe, because I don't need that much salt in my life. I don't think this is good soy sauce. But let me move the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Surface light. This is 1/3 of a cup of soy. And then we're gonna do 1/3 of a cup of white wine, I guess. I don't know. This is getting real fusion now. Okay. I don't have sake, but I do have this umeshu with the plums in it, so we're just gonna, that's so strong. We're just gonna use one of the plums, or all of them, sure. I'll preserve one to get drunk on later. I'm sure that'll be great for me one day when I really need it. One moldy plum soaked in alcohol from 8,000 years ago, if I last that long. And then we need water, naturally. So let's go in with a little more water, because I don't think I have enough liquid to actually poach this tail. Then we need granulated sugar and brown sugar. So I'll just use 2 packets. Because I call for 1/4 cup granulated sugar. I feel like 2 packets is, 1 packet is just 3 grams. Okay, maybe I need to use all the packets of granulated sugar then. Never mind. Okay, I'll use 4 packets of sugar, however much that amounts to. That might just be like a teaspoon, honestly. Or a tablespoon, rather. I think that's a tablespoon. For the brown sugar, we're gonna go with Chinese brown sugar. How much do I need? I don't think we're going very scientific about this, so I'll just do that much. That sounds good. Okay. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of peeled ginger, which I have. It's perfect. I'm actually not going to peel it because I'm lazy. We'll turn this on. Throw in some of this garlic powder. That was a lot. And I'm going to use a bay leaf, actually. This was in the newest Spice Club box from Burl Up and Barrel. It's the newest harvest of whole Caribbean bay leaves from Grenada. So let's just throw one in there since I don't have scallions or anything, and this is already fusion as fuck. Hey, look. Ooh. It smells almost like a lime leaf. And a little bit gingery. Interesting. Okay. I don't have green onions, and I think that's it. So next up, as we bring this to a boil, it already smells very interesting, y'all. I'm going to add in a little more water because I think it's going to just condense so much. And I need to immerse the pigtail, which is coming out now. Ooh, it's so creepy. For those of you who get creeped out very easily, maybe look away, but just to remind you that if you eat pork or any animal, it was once upon a time a living thing that had body parts that were not chopped up, deboned, deskinned, and cleaned for you, wrapped in plastic and refrigerated and pumped full of chemicals. So, you ready? Here's the pigtail. I mean, you saw it on the thumbnail already, right? Looks like there's like 2 bites of meat and fat. This is from Abundance Acres Farm in Fort Plain, New York, zip code 13339. And it was, I don't know what day it was packed, but it is 5 ounces and 0.32 pounds. So there you have it. I will be washing this. Ooh, it feels so weird. Gotta be honest with you. A part of me is doing the creepy crawlies inside, kind of like when I handled that duck. Remember that duck? You remember that duck. Actually, I think what I should do is maybe chop this tail up now. I'm trying to figure out what's the better way to cook it. Oh, it's creeping me out right now really bad. I can't believe Mom's cheap cleaver is able to handle this right now. That's fascinating. I should probably be using my other cleaver and not this one. That is what I'm gonna do now. Do not continue your mistake once you have made it. You do not have to continue making a mistake once you realize you're making it. Oh, so much easier. There is still a bit of hair on this. And this is why you sharpen your knives, because you can basically shave your pigtail with it. That's cool. All right. Our liquid is up to a boil. We're gonna reduce that heat. You know, they sell oxtail for a lot of money. It's only a matter of time. Before pigtail becomes a thing too, you know? I'm not strong enough to do this, man. I can't be a butcher. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. All right, let's take a moment to appreciate the inner workings of the cool bone structure of a pigtail once we have segmented it and once you have stopped feeling queasy about it. You know, practice. Everything comes with practice. Great. We did it. Yay. Now I want to wash everything. So, I don't know. I think my objective is to cook this down, braise it, and get like a really nice, salty, soy-based pigtail pate to use as like a condiment maybe, or like a pickle. We can pickle so many things. All right. We got this. Oh, that got me really queasy. That gave me Budget Eats flashbacks to the Christmas episode where I was trying to work with the duck. Can you believe how long it's been? Holy shit, man. 3.5 years ago. Wow. I'm sorry, my East Asian brain just went straight to soy sauce, but if I buy another pigtail again, will you tell me what to make? What recipes would you recommend? Robert, the way you just said that sounds like a scary movie. I remember when you did the organ meat. If we can eat cow tail, why not pigtail? I don't get it. What's the diffo? Just whatever is trending, whatever other people are eating, whatever is, $18 a pound. Sure. You do that. Hello and good evening. How long do I simmer this pork for? Is it like 5 hours? I like how I forgot my own recipe. It was 2 lifetimes ago though. I'm mostly treating the pigtail as stock bones in this case. I think it's just gonna lend the soy base a little meaty flavor. I mean, let's be honest. The whole thing with bone inclusive was 1/3 pound. There's hardly any meat to be had in this tail. So I'm clearly not cooking it to eat any pork. It's just more of a novelty ingredient at this point. And also an excuse to use this white wine. Cute. Very cute. It already looks good. Homey. Looks homey. All right. Rice time. This is my very last batch of brown rice that I bought possibly 2 years ago. I have soaked this overnight and we're gonna cook it. And then we will have rice no more. Well, we will have rice. We'll just have to buy new rice. We're gonna make rice in this skillet here for maximum crispage. I think I will, what was in here? Can't remember. I will give it a rinse. I'll give it a wipe. And then we're going to use some of Grandma's weird little butters to get us started. I actually skipped my grandma visit today. I went to see her yesterday. It was quite a confusing time. I don't exactly remember what happened anymore, but I remember coming out of that visit and my uncle saying, hey, why don't you take a break tomorrow? So I did. And I went jump roping with Samira in the morning, so that we could both be a little more active. And just to not be so holed up in my room and tied to my morning routine of grandma or no grandma. I think it was time to add a little revitalization maybe into my life. Black pepper. I do happen to have allergies to, wait, are you asking me or someone else? Because I'm allergic to penicillin and sulfa. Is that an Asian thing? At least that's what my mom's always told me. I've always been told I'm allergic to it. Do we do adobo rice or Szechuan rice? Because I already know I like the adobo, but should we try it with the Szechuan? Vote now. Oh, shit, okay, adobo. Okay, adobo it is. What should I be using Szechuan for? Something with tomato. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Oh, we can have a little democracy as a treat. Cute. Don't get used to it now. time to vote. Oh no. I think I also want extra cumin in here today. And maybe a little coriander. So I'm kind of mutilating the adobo anyway. The great bastardization. Oh, Cezanne? There you go. That's how you spell it. This is just onions, corn, and peas, y'all, with spices and butter. I know, life is amazing sometimes. Gonna do a little purple shallot. And I think I want something a little spicy in here. So let's go look for a chili pepper of some sort. Okay, stand by for silk chili, which is down to the last tablespoon, less than a tablespoon. Pretty good mild heat, nice pop of red. Will go great in here. running dry, so I think we've about toasted this rice as far as it will go before we start burning. So, roughly a little less 2-to-1 ratio of water to rice. Okay, close call. Very close call. That might have been too much water. Not sure. Too late now. We'll bring that up to a boil and I will think about how to clean this counter because it looks disgusting right now. I do wish I could do more stovetop cooking without so much splattering. Because not only does it splatter on the stove, it splatters on the floor, it splatters on everything. It feels grimy. Which I think is why my mom had so much foil taped up on the walls of her kitchen in her house. Maybe I will have to mop the floor later. Or maybe not. Maybe I will just be gross this week. I think that's going to be it for hands-on cooking. All of these will just take so much time. The brown rice will probably take half an hour. The meat, the pork tail will take an hour, according to my recipe. An hour and 20 minutes. Wow. Alrighty then. What can we do in the meantime? We could do push-ups that I can't do anymore. Sad but true. Or we can drink some rice liquid. So I like to boil like 2 tablespoons of brown rice and make like a little carbolicious congee liquid. I guess you can call it congee liquid. It's really soothing for my body. And it's basically like brown rice tea. It tastes really good. So I think in the future, I'll probably just buy myself like nice brown rice just to make this tea. Good. Lovely. How's everyone's Monday? How's your week? Are you regretting life yet? Do you want to see me clean my floors with discarded socks? How can I entertain you? Shall I just let you talk amongst yourselves? What's the move here? Oh damn, I forgot to put carrots in there. I knew I forgot something. Dang. You know what? We're just gonna slide a whole carrot in there and watch it braise. Because why not? You know? Watch it braise itself. Some purple carrots. Some sturdy purple carrots. And an orange one. And I like the white ones on their own. Okay. That is the laziest cooking I've ever done. Beautiful. So proud of myself. Okay. Purple carrots are from Trader Joe's. It's not very fancy at all. The brown sugar that I used is a Chinese red sugar. It is much less sweet than American brown sugar. It's almost got like a molassesy medicinal taste to it. It feels almost earthy. And if I use too much of it, it makes desserts feel very old and grandma-y. My mom used to tell me to eat more Chinese red sugar around my period. I don't know. Maybe there's more iron content in there, but I don't really know much about sugars to tell you the science behind that. Oh, you like my earrings? Thank you. This is a fish. This is it looks like an African mask that I got when I was in college. This one was like $1 or $2 on eBay. I don't actually know if it's real silver. They said it was, but how would you sell real silver for $1 and ship it? It's just this world does not make sense, you know? Back when I still used to buy new things, I bought this earring on eBay. And that was before I started thinking about what labor means in the context of our expenses. But the fishy, yep, fishy's cool. People were talking. Chat is alive today. You guys are talking about high shoes. Okay. Shrimp chips. I'll show you this. I wasn't planning on snacking, but I'll show you this since we're going live. Back before Mom died, way back when, once upon a time, I believe I went to California and we went to a super Asian part of, maybe it was a trip to LA. And I think I was with my college friend Calvin, who took us to like one of the Asian supermarket chains, and I bought this. And I thought it was rice paper, but it's actually made of wheat, and it has black sesame seeds embedded in it. And I thought we had more sheets, but I don't know if humidity got to it or whatever, but there's actually only 3 really thick sheets in here. So what I did yesterday was I cracked them into pieces and I microwaved them. And you can basically microwave shrimp chips if you don't want to fry them. I did go to Alhambra, yes, where I randomly ran into a viewer, or rather a viewer DM'd me and he was like, hey, I know this is weird, but can I come crash and eat with y'all? That was fun. That was a super fun day. So that's before Mom died. What a time, right? What a time. So let's microwave some chips. We're just gonna take a sheet and crack it up. Try to make them uniform in size so that they cook at about the same time. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with some burnt sheets and burnt chips and some raw chips, which are not very tasty. Unless you're into that, of course. I'll just do a few since I was eating all day to write a newsletter and sample stuff. So 5 broken sheets right there. And we're gonna pop it in and zap it. I don't actually know how long we need to zap it. I should actually turn off the light so I can see it better through the microwave. Wow, ambiance. It's like we're in hell. Oh, they're unfurling. Kind of sounds like popcorn, so once it stops popping, I'm like, maybe it's done. Like now. So that was 45 seconds. I'll turn the light back on. I will just tell you that I have cracked a bowl and a plate because I've been experimenting with microwaving popcorn and microwaving sorghum and microwaving peanuts and microwaving cashews, and I do like roasting like a half cup of nuts at a go, even though it's not really energy efficient, I guess, but it helps me be more mindful about how much peanuts and cashews I'm putting into my body in one sitting, because I have to wait like 2.5 minutes and potentially break a plate every time I make it for myself. So we're letting these chips cool a little bit. Karen asked a while back, if you put cinnamon and spices in rice tea, would it taste like horchata? I don't think so, because I don't know if horchata is made with boiled rice, you know, it's a different taste. So yeah, these are kind of like chicharrones. Oh yeah, I did used to do late night lives and barely had lights on. That's funny. And yeah, I do have rice paper too. So when I run out of these wheat snacks, I can do the rice paper. Shall we take a bite? Do you want to have some ASMR moments of watching me eat this? And obviously you can sprinkle whatever spices you want on it. Man, this would taste so good with hummus right now. Oh my god! Okay, can I do a rant? I want to do a rant. It's not like you can stop me anyway. Can we take a moment to talk about how fucking Philadelphia cream cheese is the best cream cheese and no other cream cheese can come close to it? This was on sale for $1.79. It's whipped cream cheese, Tempty brand, originally $5.79 at my grocery store. I was like, what a deal. I've been yearning for cream cheese. I've never had this brand because it never goes on sale. Why don't I relive my, why don't I just live my eternal childhood dreams? This shit is like when I ate Olive Garden, and I really dreamed about Olive Garden for 2+ decades, and then I finally had it, and then I was like, I've been bamboozled all my life, and sometimes you just really need to let dreams be dreams, you know? Like that Shia LaBeouf YouTube video that I love where he says, don't let your dreams be dreams. Sometimes you gotta let your dreams be dreams, because I tasted this shit, it's grainy as fuck. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'll still eat it because it tastes creamy. But my rant is, how does Philadelphia cream cheese do it? How do they achieve that ultra rich, creamy flavor that no other cream cheese can come close to? Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. Sure, why not? That was a lot more than I wanted on that scoop, but YOLO. Gotta try it with some of this. I do love this. I don't know if any of you followed on that David Chang Guardian piece about how he tried to issue cease and desist to small business owners who use the term chili crunch. He wanted Momofuku to have sole copyright and trademark over chili crunch, and Homiya was one of the companies that he sent a cease and desist letter to, due to popular pushback against his kind of attempt at monopolizing the term chili crunch. He is no longer issuing the cease and desist letters. But anyway, I do like this, and from what I hear, Momofuku's chili crunch is not that delicious. And based on my experience using their like umami based Asian inspired spice blends, they were really lackluster too. And that was when I still worked at the Delish Test Kitchen, so I don't know if their R&D has gotten better since those days, but yeah, not impressed. I've met Michelle, who's the owner of Homiya. Super nice lady. So know that you're supporting cool people. And maybe just keep in mind that once people get too big, they lose their souls. Which is another reason why sometimes it's a blessing when you don't achieve so-called conventional success, you know? You get to keep more of yourself. And remember, I don't know, remember the world as it is, for better and for worse. That was delicious. Thank you for the snack break. Let's check up on our pork tail. Smells good. And our rice, where the onions have floated to the top to live amongst the onions and the carrots and the peas and the corn. Fantastic. I have nothing else to report to you. My brain is awash. And now I have a stomach ache. Have I told you about how my stomach and my physical constitution in general has turned more Chinese in the last 3 years? I have discovered that if I drink cold water with my meals, 9 times out of 10, I will end up with a stomach ache within 15 minutes of drinking that water. Mom is right. Mom is so right. Mom is right about everything. So I'm actually gonna heat up this rice water a little bit, just so I can satisfy my Chinese body. Hi, Australia. Pork floss, I wish I had it. So good. That chip with mayo and pork floss would have been amazing. Warm water is better for your health. I get it now. I'm too old to not get it now. When I was young and reckless, those were the days. Man, if rent weren't a thing, I would totally open up a strange little cafe where I just serve people small portions of weird snacks that I come up with every day, and we could all be happy together. World's weird. I know we keep saying it, but the world is really weird. It just got really weird really fast. I also bit the side towards the back of my tongue today. It was the strangest bite. It's gonna be there for a few days. But I will get used to the pain as I do these days. Have we taken our vitamins today? Do we want to drink some vitamin C? Oh my gosh, Budget eats Tapas bar. But then I would feel so bad for charging people for so much more, you know? Gotta pay the overhead and all of that too. This will be very weird with rice water, I think. Vitamin C rice water. Wait till perimenopause. Can't wait! Cheers. To your health. Bonne santé. That was sour indeed. Folks, today is May 20th. We have less than 2 weeks of May remaining, and then it will be June. And my brain will go wild with distinguishing when people are referring to me and when people are not referring to me. I think I should rename myself for 1 month out of every year. Okay. I think the rice is almost done. Do you want to stay and watch me taste it before we go? Just a little bite. Just a little warmth for the rest of the day. Are you telling me that once I hit menopause, the rage will get even worse? I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically handle that. Do men go through this too? Because I can start raging now. Oh man. Oh man. Let's listen to the bubbling. Looks pretty good, actually. It is witch's brew. So when does menopause start? And should I not be alive for it? Is it worth it? What are the joys that come with the menopause years? Do I have anything to look forward to? Or is it just all pain and endurance? Life is so not fair. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think the rice is starting to crackle. Maybe. My PMS was worse, depression worse, wake up hot, agitated, random occasions. Oh, good. Better than periods? Okay. I hope you're right. I hope that's true. I guess I should start finding containers to put this rice into once it cools, huh? Didn't think about that. Interesting. How did your hysterectomy affect other aspects of your health, though? Because, I mean, I would get one too if, one, I had insurance, and two, I knew I wouldn't fuck up other areas of my body. But I hear it can really fuck up all the areas of your body. So. Do you hear it drying up? I turn the heat on max to drive off the extra moisture and to crisp it. And now it's definitely burning. 'Cause I got too greedy. The carrot's tender, surprisingly enough. I will use this time to just chop it up into thick coins with my fork, like so. Now we have beautifully cooked purple carrot. That's weird. It's really weird going live at this time because I feel like everything else in my circumstance has changed when I juxtapose it mentally with when I used to go live at this time. Living with Aaron in Woodside, with a mom, and a job that I no longer have any of. Isn't that weird? Life is weird. Life is so weird. Gotta let it cool. It's also so weird having strangers know of you but not know you too. I think 3 or 4 days ago I just got another Instagram comment that was like on the Instagram post I had made when I went to my friend's wedding. And the comment was, "Are you and Aaron no longer together?" I joked, I sent that comment as a screenshot to Aaron, and I joked that we're going to be asked about that for the rest of my life, as long as I'm alive. Which is kind of why I don't talk about my relationships on Instagram or put them in videos anymore. I just don't know if I can handle people asking about it endlessly. Oh, it's really hot. It's really hot in here. I was just watching a Q&A video that I think her name is Tabitha Brown put out with her like 2+ decade long husband yesterday, talking about relationship red flags. And one of the questions was staying friends with exes, and they both agreed that staying friends with exes is a red flag. I don't know. It's very interesting. They were like, if you're courteous and cordial, that's fine, but if you're like inviting them to hang out and you talk to them every day, that's a red flag. And it didn't make sense to me in my head why that was a red flag. I think intentionality is crucial here. You know, like if you're hanging out with this lingering desire to be back in some sort of romantic capacity, versus if you're just hanging out because like this was a person that you had spent a decade of your life with, and you know that they understand you, and you know that they know of a way to support you emotionally, that you both mutually enjoy each other supporting you in that way. Like, I don't see how that's a red flag. It's fascinating too, because I feel like a large portion of society is still functioning off of this idea that like we put romantic relationships on a pedestal. I'm also very guilty of that. And I think that is kind of detrimental to a lot of organic happiness, that we don't have to put rules to confine and bind ourselves under. I'm not saying like go and cheat. I don't think staying friends with exes is automatically cheating. I do think that if your intention is not what you're verbally communicating, then that is a form of cheating. I think that as soon as there's a part of you that feels like you're not being honest, or that your needs are not being met, or that you desire something that is not currently on the table, clearly understood by all parties involved in both you and your ex's life, then that is cheating. But if everyone is in the clear and everyone is not afraid of being frank, honest, and totally transparent about it, I don't think that's cheating at all. And I don't think that's a red flag at all. In fact, I think that is a very green flag for me to practice believing in someone when they say believe me, which isn't to say that you should always believe people when they tell you to believe them. But I do feel like I have a lot of trust issues. And I think every time I go and date people, it's a constant practice of, do I trust them? Do I not trust them? Do I trust myself? What should I trust? What do I have evidence to trust? Am I willing to trust something that might potentially be untrustworthy? And if so, what am I gaining from the situation that makes me believe that this is a worthy gamble to place my trust in, even though I don't have 100% guaranteed evidence to believe in this exchange or transfer or investment of trust? And I think engaging in any sort of relationship constantly requires me to negotiate with myself and be honest with myself. And sometimes I'm not honest with myself. And that's when the big, real problems happen. That's when you start cheating on yourself. And that I think is when the root of resentment takes place and takes hold and grows, if you don't deal with that. Need some salt, of course. Otherwise, delicious. Astral says, I think it is very possible to fall out of love with someone but still love them as a friend, knowing it isn't going to go back. I think people auto give it a red flag, have their own insecurities. Interesting life we have here. So many different interpretations and takes and preferences and desires and hidden deals we've made with ourselves. This rice is really good. It is so good that I was not hungry at all. In fact, I had already brushed my teeth before I came on this live, but now I want a second serving. So good job, us. We made delicious things. Thank you for joining me on this Monday night. I hope this week is relatively undetrimental. Is that the best I can wish for us now? Yes, I think it is. This is a really good question, actually. Please stand by says, if you were dating someone and they were very close to their ex, like you are with Aaron, how would you feel if they were always talking to their ex? I think I might ask them if there is anything that they want more from me to develop the relationship further. And if they say, no, I'm happy with this, I just really like talking to my ex, then I say, okay, that's cool. And then internally at that stage, I would ask myself a self-negotiating question, which is, are you okay with this? And do you want to be prioritized as a more close friend in a romantic partner capacity than their ex? And if you currently feel that you aren't, then is that the reality of things, or is that just my insecurity? I think it depends on how long I've been dating a person. Like, if I've been dating them for 3 to 6 months, and I feel like their relationship with their ex is really tight, I would just observe it for the first 6 months that we're dating. And if any behaviors come up that make me feel triggered or jealous or insecure, then I need to like kind of sit with myself for a minute and understand what exactly about that relationship is triggering me. And then once I have that figured out, once I start going into like month 9 of this relationship and I'm still insecure about that exact relationship, then I think I need to have a conversation with my partner. I think the deadline to address this insecurity happens at month 9, I think. If I still insecure insecure month 12 through 15, if I'm still together with this person and I'm still feeling insecure, that's an issue. That's when I kind of have to have a more serious talk with myself and decide if I'm always going to be feeling insecure, am I okay with staying within this relationship, and do I want to feel insecure? Do I have a reason to feel insecure? What am I missing from this relationship that seeing someone else's relationship with my partner makes me jealous? What do I not have with my partner that I think they have with their ex? And then
once I have that list for myself clearly enumerated, like they talk every day, or he talks to her about, you know, family issues, and I don't think he ever talks to me. Like, I don't even know how I would know this information if he's not talking to me about these issues, but, or if they hang out really frequently, like almost as frequently as we hang out, then I might ask to meet the ex. At this point, if he hasn't volunteered introducing me to his supposedly platonic ex, just even offered to set up a mutual hangout with all three of us, or like within an even bigger friend group, I think that might be part of what feeds into the insecurity, because if you're kind of like segregating your friend groups in that way, then I feel like that's probably triggering an insecurity of me feeling like I've always been left out. I think, given my immigrant background, given my early childhood experiences of not having language and not having cultural knowledge and always being like the outsider, I think that's probably a big trigger. So I would probably ask him if he's comfortable with us hanging out together, me, him, and his ex, as just the three of us or within a bigger group. So then I can like observe their dynamic and see if it makes sense for me. See if there's evidence to prove or disprove my insecurities. And I think at every stage of this exploration of my own insecurities and triggers and bad vibes, I have to always try to be honest with myself about what I'm feeling. So there's like three layers really at work here. There's the immediate sensing of the insecurity. There's the evaluation and clarification of what my own desires, needs, and values are in a relationship. And then there's the negotiation with my partner about how to make me feel better, to see if he actually cares to make me feel better. Or to see if he might react in a way that's like, oh, you're just being so unreasonable. Like, clearly there's nothing happening between me and my ex. If I feel shot down at my request for comfort, for, you know, collaborative soothing, I guess, then I think at that point I might consider it to be a revelation of what my partner is not willing to provide for me. And I think if he isn't willing to provide for me an opportunity to engage with other areas of his social circles, I would feel left out, and that would probably eventually break my heart and be a deal breaker. So I think, one, it takes time, it takes context, it takes knowledge of the other person, not just in a specific area, but in the context of who they are in general. And knowing that context comes with time. So if I'm immediately judging them based off of my own insecure lens of interpretation, that might lead me to create more horrendous psychological torture for myself than actually exists in a shared reality. Does that make sense? I was just talking. And naturally, I do see less of Aaron already, you know? There are certain things that I don't feel organically compelled to participate with him anymore, because I just feel like, oh, that's something that you do with, you know, your current partner. And I don't, like, I think there are certain scenarios where I just feel like it feels like I'm wearing a shirt that doesn't fit this stage of life anymore. Like, I can wear it, but it's not me anymore. And I think sometimes that's what it feels like to hang out in a certain capacity with an ex. It just feels like, oh, that's not me anymore, you know? Like, I've changed so much since my mom's passed away too. There are certain behaviors that I used to do that I hope I never do again, because I don't see myself in that way anymore. And I think I see myself differently now, and I want to continue to see myself develop in this new direction and being called backwards isn't a good nostalgia. It feels like wearing your shoe on the wrong foot. Like, you might not immediately understand what you did, but then you start walking in it and you're like, oh, I put the shoe on the wrong way. Okay, folks. A success. I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good week. Keep drinking water. Sleep more than I do. Take care of yourself.